Hi friends, welcome to Storytime with Tristan. In today's story, we meet a boy named Shiloh. Shiloh is getting ready for his first day of school, but he's feeling a little nervous about how the other kids will like him. Join me for today's story and let's learn more about Shiloh. Now remember, it's important as a reader to make connections to our story. That means we think about what's happening in the story and see if it reminds us of any experiences in our own lives, so that way we can better understand our characters' thoughts and feelings. As we read our story, I want you to see if you can make any connections to how Shiloh is feeling. Shiloh and Dande the Lion, written by Ciara L and illustrated by Christian Crab. Today was Shiloh's first day at his new school. Shiloh was very nervous but determined to think positive. I'm going to find the courage to be myself. Good things are going to happen. I hope the other kids like me, Shiloh said to himself. However, after school, Shiloh got back home, feeling sad. "Mom, I don't like my new school," Shiloh sighed. "The kids keep telling me that I am different. They keep talking about my brown skin." "You are right," said Shiloh's mom. "You are different, but it's because there is only one of you. That's what makes you special. Everyone is not the same. The world would be boring if we all looked alike." Shiloh's mom paused for a few seconds, locking eyes with her son. She added, "Guess what else?" "What, Mom?" "You have a big job to do." "What's that?" asked Shiloh. I wonder what Shiloh's big job is going to be. "You have to show the whole world how amazing you are," replied Shiloh's mom. "Your dad and I named you Shiloh because that means peace. It means you are in tune with who you are. It means you must always be yourself." I want you to think about why it's important to always be yourself. Shiloh wanted to do that, but he didn't know how. He did know he wanted to think about his mom's words, so Shiloh decided to walk in his backyard. While Shiloh was in his backyard, he noticed a pretty yellow flower. He pulled it from the ground and took it home for his mom. He knew how much she loved flowers. At home, Shiloh held the flower delicately in his hands. He approached his mom and asked, "What is the name of this flower?" "That flower is a beautiful dandelion," said Shiloh's mom. "Do you know what makes a dandelion flower unique?" Shiloh considered the beautiful flower in his hands. "I know dandelion flowers are pretty," he said. "I know they have a nice yellow color, but I do not know what makes them unique." "What do you think makes a dandelion flower unique?" His mom explained, "When you make a wish, dandelions help make it come true. Dandelions also help you overcome hard times." Shiloh had no doubt his mom was very wise. After thinking about what she said, he looked around his room. Shiloh spotted his favorite stuffed animal, a beautiful lion with colorful fur. He knew then and there he would name the stuffed animal Dande the Lion. Before bedtime that night, Shiloh's parents tucked him tightly under the covers. "Good night, Shiloh," they said. "We love you very much. Remember to always dream big." As Shiloh drifted off to sleep, he clutched Dande the Lion in his hands. Shiloh then whispered, "Dande the Lion, what do you see? Please help others understand me." And just like that, Shiloh began to dream. Before he knew it, he was on a beach. Shiloh could not believe it. Dande the Lion stood beside him, but this time he was a real lion. When he and Dande the Lion looked out the sparkling water, they saw a mermaid and some seals. "Wow," said Shiloh. "Who were all these wonderful creatures?" The mermaid's name was Birdie. and the seals called themselves the Stinky Crew. When Birdie noticed Shiloh, she approached him with an expression of awe on her face. She took one hard look at him and said he was different from anything she had ever seen before. "You don't belong here," she cried. The Stinky Crew agreed with Birdie. "You are smelly," they added, crinkling their noses at Shiloh. A wave of sadness washed over Shiloh as he dug his toes into the sand. Thankfully, Dandy the lion stepped in. He gazed at Birdie and the Stinky Crew with his deep lion eyes and said, "If you took the time to play with Shiloh, you might learn something." Do Birdie and the Stinky Crew remind you all of anybody in Shiloh's life? Kind of reminds me of maybe the kids at school that made him feel sad. The next thing Shiloh knew, Dandy the lion was taking him for a swim. He told Shiloh he wanted to show him how some of the sea creatures dealt with others who were not very nice. The pair met a huge whale named Pee-wee. Shiloh and Dandy the lion rode on Pee-wee's back and moved swiftly through the water. Then Dandy the lion told Pee-wee what had happened to Shiloh. Pee-wee shared that he too was bullied at one point because of his size. But Pee-wee told Shiloh that he soon learned that he was special. And when he realized nothing was wrong with his true self, he became much happier. Pee-wee offered a reassuring smile. He promised to show Shiloh something that only he could do, all because of his awesome size. Before Shiloh could thank Pee-wee for his kindness, an octopus named Twinkletoes pulled Shiloh and Dandy the lion right off the whale's back. Next to Twinkletoes swam Birdie and the Stinky Crew. They were dragged down to the deepest part of the ocean. Darkness surrounded them. In the depths of the water, Shiloh heard splishing and splashing, babbling bubbles and gurgling sounds. He and Dandy the lion felt slimy seaweed and fins from the ocean mammals. Under the sea, they didn't care about their differences. They were all a little scared, but they were all in this together. Dandy the lion knew he still had to help Shiloh embrace the things that made him outstanding. He asked Pee-wee to show Shiloh what he had promised to do. So Pee-wee showed Shiloh that because of his size, he was able to shed the most light. Pee-wee made the deep, dark water bright enough for everyone to play. While playing, the sea creatures were amazed at how fast Shiloh could swim. They also admired how nice he was to everyone, even though some of them had been mean to him. When they swam back to shore, Twinkletoes made everyone gather around his tentacles. He explained that he was often teased because of his strange shape. But then he showed the others how he could do tricks with his 8 long arms. He showed them how even though he looked different than the others, he always had a lending hand to offer those in need. And that was not all. Twinkletoes had 3 beating hearts. He explained to the group how he used his hearts to show others how much he cared. Shiloh turned thoughtfully to Twinkletoes. He remembered Pee-wee's kindness and Dandy the lion's bravery. He also remembered his mother's wise words. He decided then and there he wanted to show the world that he too was special. So Shiloh whispered, "Dandy the lion, what do you see? Please help others understand me." Suddenly, Shiloh felt a change deep inside him. He then found the courage to express what he felt. "Listen up, everyone," Shiloh exclaimed. "I am more than just the color of my skin. I am not going to let others bully me." The group nodded their heads at Shiloh, encouraging him to go on. "I am different like you are different," continued Shiloh. "I am also unique and strong." Once again, Shiloh thought of his mom and dad. "I'm going to dream big like my parents taught me," he cried. "I am curious. I love to be around people and animals. I am brown and proud." Birdie and the Stinky Crew nodded cleverly. Soon after Shiloh's speech, they swam away. The Stinky Crew waited in silence for a moment. "When we were under the water, our physical features didn't matter," they said. "Shiloh was nice to everyone, Plus, he's an awesome swimmer. It was cool to see how everyone is different, added Birdie. No one ever taught us to see past others' differences before. The next thing they knew, Birdie and the Stinky Crew gathered everyone together. They wanted to apologize to Shiloh. Shiloh was overjoyed, so much so that he and his new friends immediately began celebrating. During the celebration, he thanked his new friends. He also thanked Dande the lion. He was very grateful to his old pal, who not only showed him other creatures' special traits, but also gave him the courage to be himself. When Shiloh woke up from his dream, he was ready for the day to begin. "I know how to help others understand me now," he announced. "With patience, kindness, and understanding, we can all accept others for who they are." Shiloh stared at Dande the lion, who had turned back into a stuffed animal. "My mom was right about being yourself," he said, "and so were you." Do you notice some things in Shiloh's room? We see Dande the lion as a stuffed animal on his bed, but I see some other things too. I see some seals on his shelf, just like in his dream, in a little mermaid. And I also see a poster that says "Seize the Day" with a whale and an octopus, just like the characters from his dream. Shiloh could not wait to enjoy his true self. Everything would be okay as long as he had Dande the lion by his side. The end. Were you able to make any connections to our story? When Shiloh explained to his mom that the other kids said he was different, it made me think about times in my life when I have felt different. But just like Shiloh, I've learned to be proud of my differences. Being different is not a bad thing. Our differences make us special and unique. We should always be proud of who we are. I hope you enjoyed our story today, and I hope you always remember to be courageous, confident, embrace your differences, and accept others for their differences too. Special thanks to Ciara L for granting permission to read aloud Shiloh and Dande the lion. Make sure to grab your own copy of her book so you can add it to your library. And a special shout out to Ciara's son, Shiloh, who this book is dedicated to. Thanks for joining me on Storytime with Tristan. To find out how you can purchase today's book, take an online reading class with me, or learn how you can purchase shirts like mine to help support fostering, adoption, education, and dog rescue, click the description below. If you liked this video, please take a moment to give it a thumbs up and hit that subscribe button so that you can stay up to date on all my latest videos. I'll see you next time for another reading adventure.